Hi, everybody. I'm Joanne DeMarco, Director of Sales and Leasing for the United Group, and I'm here to teach you how to make the perfect baked potato. So the first thing I did was wash my hands. And then the second thing I did was I gave this potato a good washing. Now I'm going to pat it dry with a paper towel, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on this dish. Now, I preheated the oven to 400 degrees. And so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to go ahead and stick the fork into the potato a couple of different places as I rotate the potato around. So there's no science to this. You just want to be able to have the potato vent itself, so when it starts to get steamy in there, the steam has somewhere to go. So that's what I did. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take oil and you're going to put it on the baked potato. Now, you can use olive oil, but I use avocado oil. I like avocado oil for a couple of reasons. Number one, avocado oil is healthier than olive oil, but number two, it has a much higher smoke point. So what does that mean? If you put things in a frying pan with olive oil, or if you put stuff in the oven with olive oil, it smokes around 350 degrees and you fill your place up with smoke. Well, I live in this crazy, condo apartment building here, and it's a super sensitive smoke system. So we don't want to set off any smoke alarms. So I'm just going to take a little avocado oil, which has a smoke point more in the 500 range. And I'm going to drizzle a little bit of avocado oil on my potato. Now, once I've got a little going, I'm then going to rub it into the baked potato so that it's covered in avocado oil. I want to get every inch of it covered in avocado oil so that I can take the next step in my process. Now, the next step I'm going to do, wipe my hands on the towel, is I'm going to take coarse kosher salt. And I know it's going to look like a lot of salt, but you need to do a lot of salt on this in order for this to work out for you. So you're going to take the salt and you're going to put it on the potato. I use one hand that I am using to hold the potato and another that goes in the salt, so I'm not going to get all the oil in my salt. But you can see I'm generously, very generously salting this potato. Most of it's going to fall off in cooking, but it helps to make the potato skin crunchier. Now, I am going to put this potato directly on the rack of my oven. And I'm not going to put a pan under it. I want the heat to go all the way around it. If you put a pan, it'll make it'll flatten on the bottom and you'll get almost like a burn to the bottom of it. So again, putting this directly on the rack of the oven. Now, if you're using olive oil, this is when it might start to smoke a little as some of the oil drips. That's one of the reasons I like the avocado oil. So it's going in the oven. I put it right in the center of the top rack of the oven. You can put it in the middle rack, whatever works for you, but put it right in the center so the heat goes all the way around it. Now, I like the outside of my baked potato really, really crisp. And I like it almost to have like a hard exterior. So I'm going to leave my baked potato in for an hour and a half. If you like yours where you want the skin a little bit like crispy, but you don't want it like crunchy, put it in more like an hour and 15 minutes to, maybe even an hour. What you're going to do is you're going to feel the outside of it. And if it feels like you want it at the hour mark, take it out. If you want it to have a little bit more crunch to it, you're going to leave it in there. So I'm going to shut the video off for now. And then I'm going to come back when my potato is done. And I'm going to show you some different things that I like to put on my potato to top it. All right, guys. Thanks. I'll be back in a few. Hi, it's time to take our baked potato out of the oven. So, got my plate here all ready to go. And out comes my perfect baked potato. Now, here's what I like to do with it. This is going to be my dinner tonight. I'm not having anything else. So, I'm gonna cut it right down the middle. Open it up. Look at that. A little crispy on the outside, nice and fluffy on the inside. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna score the inside. This way, when I put my toppings on, it'll seep right into it. The first thing I do is I start with a little bit of butter. A little bit on each side. This is butter I took out to kind of get it to room temp so it spreads a little easier when I first put it on. And you can melt it if you want, but I just like to kind of let the heat from the potato do its thing. Now, I don't need to put salt or pepper on it because I put salt on the outside, so it's got a good amount of seasoning on it. So there's my butter. The next thing I like to do, anything that has to melt, I put in closest to it. So the butter and a little bit of cheese. And remember, this is my whole dinner tonight. So I want it to have some protein and it'd be like a kind of well-rounded meal. So got a little bit of cheese on there. Some bacon bits. I love the Nyman Ranch bacon. It's delicious. Get a little bit on each side, so I'm enjoying it all the way through. There we go. And the last thing that I like to put on my baked potato, instead of sour cream, I use the vanilla yogurt, the plain Greek yogurt, and it tastes better to me even than sour cream. So I love it. So I put a nice dollop of Greek yogurt on there. And there is my dinner. A beautiful baked potato ready to go. Enjoy.